What's up, Buttercup? I'm really excited for today's video. Last night I was working on a Hobbit Hut. I have uploaded a Hobbit Hut before. That was all base game, so if you guys are curious about that, you guys are completely welcome to go on my EA handle, Extreme Izzy, and you guys can download that. But this one is going to be done with expansion packs, which means it opened up a whole new world for me, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy. Also, I didn't do a speed build for the other Hobbit Hut, so this was kind of a cool way for you guys to see how I did it and I accomplished that aesthetic. I am probably going to make like a little mini series of a whole bunch of different types of Hobbit Huts because I find that they're so fun and there's so many different things you could do and directions you could go. I was almost overwhelmed with how many options I had. And the reason I decided to do a Hobbit Hut is actually just because I was building a home for my cousin and he is absolutely fascinated with Lord of the Rings and Hobbit Huts. He actually went to New Zealand just to look at Hobbit Huts, which is so cool. And I decided I would make his home a Hobbit Hut. And it was a lot of fun. And I figured some people might be interested in seeing that. I don't know if it's a little bit left field or whatever, but I thought it would be really fun. And it's also a really cool build that I got to do, and I learned how to do certain techniques, and maybe you guys might learn something from it as well. Anyways, I make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so please stay tuned, but without further ado, I will let you guys get into the video, and I'm just going to kind of narrate what I'm doing in the process, but it will be a speed build. Enjoy! Alright, let's get into this. So I'm opening up my build. Right now I'm working on the foundation of the space we're creating, this Hobbit Hut. And a little bit of background information storyline for this unit is I've built it for a father and son. The father is kind of taking care of he's a single father. His wife unfortunately passed, so he has created this almost dream-like space for him and his son, just to sort of bring his spirits up a little bit and take away from the fact that his wife and his son's mother has passed away. So he wants to bring a little bit of whimsy to their life and yeah, just make it a little less of a sad time for them. So he has created a Hobbit Hut. I also was inspired to do this just because I was creating a house for my cousin and he's obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and he even went to New Zealand just to go look at Hobbit Huts. So, I mean, amongst other things. New Zealand's also just beautiful, but mainly for that. But yeah, so here what we've done is we've kind of raised the terrain over the roof and we're playing around with different roof patterns. We did shingles, but then we ended up rolling in with the hay style roofing. There's honestly so many options online. I was a little bit overwhelmed. And I may make a little mini series and do a couple fun little cute Hobbit Huts, maybe a little Hobbit City. Let me know if that's something that interests you. If it's not, then I'll just do it for my own personal game. But if it is, then I can do some like fun, like different elements, maybe throw some like tree houses in there. I don't know. I need a pretty big unit though, because it does take up quite a bit of space as you see. But I think it'd be so fun. Or maybe even just have like different entrances and exits for things. I think it could be cool. But yeah, so the storyline behind this build is that it is a father and a son. The father's just trying to like create a little bit of whimsy for his son. And also I really wanted to create a storyline that represented a good father figure, just because I feel like that's kind of lacking in a lot of storytelling and films and videos, so I wanted to put that element in. I know that there are a lot of really good dads, and although some of us don't really have that experience, I've definitely seen it, and I personally want to be a father, so I wanted to make sure that people know that there's good father figures out there. So that's what this storyline will be. And if you guys want to see that Let's Play, let me know, because I think it could be really cute. They'll live in the Hobbit house. And yeah, there's a lot of fun little elements of this space that I created. But I am really happy I got to use a lot of Realm of Magic items. Obviously these items were like perfect for a build like this. And yeah, I had a lot of fun being able to utilize those. And the first time I saw these rounded archways, I instantly thought of Hobbit Huts, as I'm sure a lot of people did. So that was a lot of fun. Right here I am creating really pretty floral, I don't know what you would call this, almost like a gazebo sort of effect. Absolutely love seeing houses where the like porch is overgrown with beautiful like spring flowers. Nothing makes me happier than to see that, and just imagining walking through that and having all those beautiful scents coming at you. I think it would just like really transport you and elevate your space. So I figured I'd throw that in. Also, the father is a florist. That's kind of what his background's going to be in the story. That's actually how he won over his wife, is he owned his own little flower shop, and she walked in one day and they just fell madly in love, and next thing you know, they had a child together. And unfortunately, that love story didn't last too long, but that doesn't mean the love is not still totally overflowing and still totally present. And so he remembers her through continuing his work. And yeah, he likes to surround himself with a lot of flowers and things like that because it reminds him of his wife, and also he wants his son to know about his wonderful mother. So yeah, I know it's a little bit of a sad story, and I know we're going into Mother's Day soon, and obviously that doesn't really fit that narrative, but I do plan on making a fun build for that. So stay tuned, I'm going to upload a Mother's Day video, and I'm really excited for that. But for this video, I decided to do this theme. Just, that's the way I was feeling about the space. And yeah, I had a lot of fun layering to a lot of those garden pieces. I didn't actually mention that when I was doing it, but I layered a lot of flowers to really make it seem like it was overgrown in that space, because if you look at Hobbit Huts online, they tend to have that presence. And then I put a lot of gnomes. I had like a little father and son moment there, which I thought was cute with the soccer ball. And I created a nice little backyard space because these two really like the outdoors. And so, yeah, I've actually completely done away with the living room. I didn't even realize it, but in the end, I think these two really enjoy the outdoors a little bit more than they would appreciate like a living room space. So I think if the son has his friends over and things like that, maybe he'll go in the backyard, do some like fun bonfires and go camping, play in the pond, and just do more outdoor activities. Just playing around with toys there. I thought it was cute. Cute little element with the rubber ducky and then the octopus sort of toy thing, or squid, I'm not quite sure what it is. Yeah. I also tried to challenge myself with landscaping because I hate landscaping. I really don't enjoy it, and also I get like overwhelmed because I'm like, does this grass grow in the same place as this grass? Is this tree from the same region as this tree? Like, would this happen naturally? So like, that kind of stresses me out, and I didn't really look into the trees, but I felt like I went with bushes and things that somewhat look like they could be in the same environment. But yeah, I did enjoy the landscaping of this one more so than my first build, because I did do the base game Hobbit Hut before, which you guys again can download in the what is it? The Origin EA site. My handle is Extreme Izzy if you're curious. Again, just playing around with trees here, trying to make it feel like a little bit more of like a backyard against like a green bench sort of thing. And of course you could move this unit. I'm not really sure where I built this. I think it was Newcrest, to be honest, because I have so many lots available there, and it's just the easiest place for me to do builds. But you can always move this lot. But yeah, it's a pretty square space. Honestly, it would probably have been better on like a bigger lot and just filled it with trees and like trails and stuff. You could have so much fun with a unit like this. Rolling hills. And then this, I ended up going with that big post just to kind of cover up the other one because I felt like the wood was just a little bit too bright for where it was, but honestly, like, it's wood. Wood is wood. You can mismatch, you could do all those things. I understand why EA doesn't have color swatches that are all super like matched, but I mean, it is really nice to have a color concept that has a good flow. And I think a lot of people, when they're designing their homes, do look for that in like real life. But realistically, yeah, like you'd get something from, I don't know, where would you get things from? Maybe you get something from Target, and then you get something from CB2, and you get an oak with a water-based lacquer, and then an oak with a oil-based lacquer. Like, they're not going to look the same, but you still try, and I understand that that's just part of the build. And again, we're trying to bring in foliage and greenery into their spaces for the father, just because that's kind of his vibe. We wanted to make it feel like the people who are living in it. So I've kind of put up these foliage and a lot of plants throughout the house and the bathroom. There's a lot of wood elements in here, and I wanted it to look lived in as well, so we've got little pieces that they would use. I wish there was like a little stool. Maybe I just missed it, but it'd be kind of cute to have like a little stool for the kids to like hop up. I feel like that's an element that they had in Sims 3, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely on like a limb there. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I feel like that was a thing. Was it? I don't know. Maybe not, because that wouldn't really be functional with like adults using the sink. Who knows? It'd be kind of cute though, even if you could like put it to the side or something. But yeah, they do a great job. Honestly, like, I know we all rag on this game because we're like, it doesn't have this, or they took elements out of games that we really love, but those games are still available. Like, I could play The Sims 3 and enjoy the color wheel and all those things and be fine, and there's so many expansion packs I absolutely love. So I really am trying my hardest not to compare games, but it's so hard. But I do appreciate everything that EA does for us, so... And again, this is like one of my favorite games, and it's one of my favorite games for a reason. And I just have to remember that when I like want to complain about something. Now the kitchen we are doing with the mindset of the father kind of like built it himself, so he kind of laid out those rocks himself. He paved those all out. He kept those wood elements in here. Also, I had a lot of difficulty with the countertops here because the swatches are wrong. This is one thing I will say. The swatches on this one are wrong because the brown counter is under a gray countertop and a gray counter swatch, but that doesn't line up because the wood is brown. So I don't know what happened there, but it made it really frustrating when I was trying to match the bar stool counter with the regular counter. But yeah. And then for appliances, we went with like that more, I want to say like rustic kind of element. So we went with the blacks and that really cool fridge and like the copper tones, which I thought was beautiful. And the fridge fits really nicely underneath upper cabinets as well. And then again, lots of foliage in there. I'm looking up as well because I'm watching this from an elevated space. Like, I'm down here, but I have a TV mounted on the wall. If you're curious why I'm like, that's why. And I absolutely need caffeine. I have the biggest cup, and it's such a cute little cup. It's got like this mint green, which seems to be my theme. But yes, as Lorelai Gilmore says, and I will put a clip here. So that's I was really excited about putting that tire there. It's super functional too, and it just kind of like makes it seem like more of like a genuine space. I don't know if you put like a chair there, if you could sit on that chair. I'll try that out. But we're working on an office space for the dad here. I didn't love the wallpaper originally just because I felt like there was too many different tones of wood. But I actually am pretty happy with how it turned out because I did end up putting some like newspapers on the wall, which kind of broke it up a little bit and kind of made it feel a little bit more authentic. But yeah, it was honestly so hard to match that wood, and I really wanted it to feel like a library. I could have swapped out the bookcases, I'm sure, and found something a little bit closer, but I really like those bookcases, so we're just gonna stick with our plan there. And then I would say I am the most disappointed with the outcome of the kids' room. I was excited about the carpet, like I had fun playing with like a new pattern, but I don't know, it didn't like stand out for me, which kind of sucked because I built this for like a family gameplay and like wanting to make it like homey for a kid, and I felt like I kind of dropped the ball there, but I might go back in and like play around with that and do something fun. But yeah, I didn't go like an ultra modern or like something that I personally would aesthetically be like, yes, like this is my vibe. Like there's elements I really do love about it. I really do love like the green foliage wallpaper in the bathroom and stuff like that. But I would do that more as like a feature wall. And I do love these kind of, what would you call these? This wallpaper, I would say it's like more of like a Spanish Mediterranean kind of feel. I actually do love Mediterranean builds, but I don't know if I would use it in this way. I just felt like it worked for this space. And that's why I decided on a lot of these color tones and palettes, not from my own personal preference, but just to fill the space. Again, going in with more of the foliage, little pots and things. I do love clay pots, so that was fun. And then I put in those mirrors too, just so it kind of opened the space as well. It's quite dark. And this I was really proud of, this like the ceiling lamps, and then I added in the metal chandelier as well. I was stoked about that. I felt like that was really cool. I'd probably use that again in a build. And those lights were just place markers, so I'm actually going to be pulling them down and moving them a little bit. And I'm putting a new little light feature above that mirror in just a minute. I like the leather armoires. I felt like those fit the space as well. I tried not to recycle too many things from my last Hobbit Hut. There were certain elements that I did pull into this one because there was a certain aesthetic that kind of comes with it, but it'd be kind of cool to do different types of Hobbit Huts, like Hobbit Huts that are like more modern, like, I don't know, there's so many fun things you could do with this. Like a renovated Hobbit Hut, Hobbit Huts that are like more square instead of rounded. I don't know. Also, this is like a cool way you could maybe do like an apocalyptic sort of build. Like you could have your entryway for... Sorry, my camera keeps turning off. It might turn off again. I don't know if it will. We're nearly done the video though. I'm just doing the dad's room right now. Finishing touches. So I was trying to play around with the pots and things in that room. I didn't end up going with that pot on that desk. I'm sure if I fiddled around with it a little bit more I could have made it work, but honestly I gave up on that. But I really love that plant. I think it's really pretty. Super boho, which is honestly my vibe. If I were to build a house for myself, it'd be very boho. That might be my next build. Let me know what you think. If you guys want to see my dream house or like a boho space, yeah, let me know. But yeah, dad's room, we just put a lot of elements of wood again because he does a lot of woodworking. And so that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope you were inspired, maybe learned something new there, and I will see you guys very soon as well. Again, I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so stay tuned for those. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.